Okay, no problem. So let me give a small recap what we have discussed as part of previous session. So hope you guys are able to see my screen.
Yes.
Yeah. So as part of previous session, we have talked about service endpoints and virtual network integration, how exactly you can integrate your virtual network to our Azure services, how you can enable the service endpoints in the previous session. So I have given example for the service of only to the storage account, but it does support for other services. Your virtual network service endpoints can be given to your storage, databases, key vaults, web apps, and all other services. These, by the time these are in preview, now supporting to these services like Event Hub, Service Bus, SQL data warehousing, a data lake. So all these services does support your VNet integration as well as service endpoints. That is to make sure that your application, your virtual machine to your PaaS services, you can have secured connectivity. And very next topic, we have talked about network security group. As I mentioned, network security groups is nothing but your software firewall to your virtual machine. The software firewall will control both your inbound and outbound traffic to the virtual machine. That inbound and outbound traffic is nothing but your port numbers. Based on the port numbers you allow, you could be able to communicate with the server, right? And then how that particular things will work, it depends on the priority of your rule. The priority will take precedence, with the lowest number will take the highest precedency. Second most important thing is that you should never allow management ports of 3389 for RDP, 22 for putty session. These port you should never allow to the any as a source for a public internet. It means anyone can hit on your server, they will attack and they will take out your data. So make sure in a real time, you should never create a management ports, right? 338922 port should be given to any as a source as part of your network security group, right? And then we also seen we can add multiple IP addresses, multiple port numbers by comma separated. That is quite possible. And one more thing which we have discussed, important thing is that NSG will use a 5-tuple topology, that is source port, source IP, destination port, destination IP, and protocol. Right? Your network security group rules can be applied on an individual VM by selecting network interface. Network security group rules can be applied on multiple VMs by selecting subnets. This is what on a high level, which we have discussed in the previous session. Till now, any questions, guys? Anything you'd like to discuss? If you see now, as part of today's session, what we will do, let's say I am having this virtual machine, right? App01 and App02, for example. This is my VM, right? This virtual machine, if I turn on this virtual machine, you could see that if I want to take an SSH session, what I will do, I typically copy the public IP address. It is a Linux machine, so I just open the putty session and then connect the virtual machine using public IP. Are you able to see it is allowed me to connect Azure admin and I'm giving my own password? Are you able to see now? I am logged into this machine, correct? Host name is app01. Now, when it comes to real-time scenario, guys, for accessing your workloads for a management standpoint, accessing using a public IP, it is not at all recommended, right? When I say use not using this public IP, so what you typically need to do, you need to disable the public IP, or as part of VM provisioning itself, you should not select the public IP. So for now, what I'm doing, I'm navigating to the network interface, clicking on IP configurations, click on the IP config. Here, if you see here, public IP is associated. Now, my requirement, I don't want a public IP. So I'm disabling it. Next important thing is now if you could see, are you able to see the public IP for this? And only IP you have only private IP, that is 10.200.0.0. If I go to the MSTSC and try to access my server using a private IP, is it allowing?
Surendra, can you go a little slow? Because...
Okay, definitely. So now I'm trying to take RDP of the virtual machine using a private IP. Is it working or not working?
It's not working.
Sorry?
Not working, Surendra.
Your voice is low, Venkat. Could you check your mic?
Yeah, this laptop has issue with the laptop.
Now far better, Venkat.
Yeah,
It's not working, right? So in a real-time scenario, also do remember your workload should not be accessed using a public IP, always with the private IP. So why it is not allowed?
hello?
Yes, Chiranjeevi, tell me.
Yeah. Can you show me again because you are little fast? I'm just making a note of how you disable the public IP. Can you show the navigation please?
You just navigate to the network interface of your virtual machine. If you click on networking, are you able to see there is a network interface option here?
Okay, right. Yeah.
Yeah, click on it. Once your network interface, you have something called app IP configurations.
Okay, right. Left hand side. Okay.
Now, under the IP configuration, click on the IP config 1
Okay.
and then associate and de-associate.
Okay, and same. Okay.
And if you want to change the IP, let's say by default you are getting 0.4, right? If you wish
Right.
like to change this IP from 0.4 to 0.10 in some scenarios, you can change it to the static IP and then make it over here.
For the public IP address, right?
Private. This is for private. If 10.200 is a private, right?
Okay, correct. Okay.
This can be done. Do remember, you should never ever do the changes of IPs within the server. If someone is asking you to change an IP, any kind of an IP related, you should do only in Azure portal only. Within the server, if you touch, your server will come up online. It will be get isolated mode.
Okay.
Not only for this, any cloud environments, whatever the setup you want, you do it in a cloud portal level only, not in a server level.
Okay. After doing the modifications, we need to restart the service, right? Get it reflected.
It will automatically restart. Actually, it requires a restart.
Restart. Okay. No. What I meant, like when you want to do the changes, the service need to be down before doing a modification, or like.
If it's already down, no problem. If it is not down, it will restart.
Okay. When it's up. Okay. Okay. I got it. Clear.
Hmm. Now, why I'm explaining this stuff? Because as I've been mentioning, your virtual machine should not be allowed over the public access, should be allowed only private IPs, private access only. And from my computer, I am sitting somewhere with my own internet connection and I want to access the private IP of my one of the server in Azure. It is not accepted. That is expected behavior only because I don't have any VPN. I'm not sitting in my company, right? Clear. So when you are sitting at your organization, when you are using your VPNs, it is expected behavior that you can connect your company workloads using a private IP. Now, as part of today's session, we're going to talk about VPN technologies. We will implement a VPN, right, for the virtual machine called App01, which is utilizing VNet 01, right? We are going to create VPN technology or VPN solution for this, and whatever it's been just failed because we are unable to connect, we are going to connect at the end of the session successfully using a private IP. That is the agenda of this session. Clear? So when I mean a point-to-site VPN, so on-premises network connection, you could see three types we have. One is point-to-site, site-to-site, and express route. What is mean by point-to-site? Azure location will call as a one site, and we are all end users. This is a perfect example because of this pandemic. We are all working from home, right? We are all using our own internet service provider, and you guys definitely, I'm sure, using some kind of a VPNs today. Cisco AnyConnect, Pulse Secure, FortiWeb. Which VPN tools you are using in your current scenario? Could you name them, all of you?
Cisco, sir.
Yeah, we
Okay,
use
when
Pulse Secure.
Cisco. What is in your scenario, Chiranjeevi?
Pulse Secure.
Pulse Secure. How about you, Harsha?
Sorry, I don't understand. Tell me again, Surendra.
So, in your laptop, company has given you one laptop to you, correct?
Yes.
In the laptop, there is a VPN, virtual private network is installed, and you will
Yes,
connect to
yes.
the.
Yes,
What is the name of
yes,
that
sir.
VPN?
VPN, social network service, Surendra.
What is this? Social?
Network, England.
No, no, no,
Uh,
Surendra. He is also for with Cisco only.
Cisco. Okay.
Uh,
Right, we are using, if you are here, we are part of all of us from a different organization using different tools. Why we are using the VPNs? Any idea?
So to connect to organization network.
Here also same thing. To connect Azure network, Azure resources, we are going to create point-to-site VPN. Point-to-site in the sense from internet, it will allow you to access your company resources securely. Correct? Site-to-site VPN in the sense, this will be helpful when you are at office. If I'm correct, when you are sitting at office, you never connect to the VPN, correct? You will use VPN when you're at office?
No, no.
No, right? So by that time, the communication will happen via the site-to-site connectivity. We'll discuss that also. So express route also similar to site-to-site. Site-to-site will use internet. Express route will use dedicated pipe. Shall we start discussing about point-to-site? When I mean point-to-site here, if you could see this pictorial representation, on left-hand side, you could see that we have a Azure region, that is VNet 01, some IP addresses. We are using in Azure service name called Virtual Network Gateway. So that network gateway have a public IP. Okay, these are all end users, right? Your VPN clients is these machine laptops or desktops is your end users. They could connect to your gateway, and in turn it will allow you to connect your Azure resources securely. This is nothing but your point-to-site connection. Okay, as part of this provisioning or configuring this point-to-site, we need all the services to be, these are all the components which are needed to implement point-to-site VPN. Right? I believe first 6 points for you guys are clear. Subscription, resource group, location, VNet, address space, and subnet. Till that is clear, folks.
Yeah, yes.
Creation.
Here, address space meaning
And the next
domain,
service
right?
which is required is what it is.
Address space mean here, like, what does it mean here?
Address space I mean here is the IP address for your VNet. VNet
Okay, IP
01
address.
will use VNet 01 will use 10.100,
Okay.
130.6 private IP segments. No, that one.
And location mean
Region. Let's say
region. Okay.
if I go to this VNet 01, this is the name of the virtual network. And this is the address space. Are you able to see 10.200 is my IP address range
Okay.
I given. Location is nothing but West US2
Region. Okay.
region. And subnet mean I have already created one subnet, my app subnet. So if I want to create one more subnet, what I will do, I will add one more subnet, let's say DB subnet, one more subnet for a test subnet. So I can add multiple subnets. To create a VPN gateway, the prerequisite is you should have a gateway subnet. Okay, this gateway subnet name you cannot edit. So this size of the subnet will vary based on the number of connections you want to establish. So I'm just giving /27 for a reference. Click on save. So this is one of the prerequisite. You need to create a gateway subnet. Name of the gateway subnet, it is not possible to edit. This will be predefined name. Clear? Now, to configure the VPN, it can be a point-to-site, it can be a site-to-site, it can be an express route. In Azure, you need to create a resource name called Virtual Network Gateway. This is the resource which is responsible for your to create any kind of a VPN solution in Azure. Clear? So we are going to provision this service now as part of our VPN configuration. Here, your selected free trial is my subscription name. In a real-time scenario, this free trial will be a change. It will be your application or a business required subscription, which you need to select. Resource group will be selected based on your VNet you select. So in my scenario, I'm just saying AZT27. It's a point to site, right? And location, I want to create it at West US2. Next one is gateway type. Are you able to see? There is two things. One is VPN, other one is express route. Right? As part of our on-premises connectivity, how many methods we have? We have point to site, we have site to site, we have express route also. Right? In this scenario, for a point to site and site to site, if you are creating, your gateway type should be VPN. If at all you are creating this VPN, virtual network gateway for express route scenario, you need to select the gateway type as express route. Clear? So in our case, we are creating a VPN, so you need to select the VPN. Next one is VPN type. There's a route based and policy based. Route based is the mandatory option which you need to choose for a point to site. At the time of site to site tunnel, right? One end is your on-premises data center, other end is your Azure. So this VPN type should be selected based on the on-premises region device compatibility. Not for a point to site, this is the constraint. For a site to site, if your other location, other end is saying that I will support only policy based, I will not support route based, you need to select accordingly. Policy based in the sense there will be a static route. There will be no dynamic routes. If you select route based, the routing will happen in the backend automatically. Okay. And generations, this queue size is nothing but you are creating a VPN gateway. It is not like unlimited number of people can connect and unlimited amount of a bandwidth which we could use. Right? There's a distinct bandwidth allocated based on the size you choose, similar to your VPN sizes. So similar to your virtual machine sizes. If I select basic, it will support only 100 Mbps. If I select gateway 1, it does support up to 650 Mbps. Gateway 2 does support 1 Gbps. Let me show you all the sizings here. So these sizes can be vary. That's not a problem. What happened to this? Official document itself is saying not found. Azure virtual VPN SKU. So this is what I'm referring. Are you able to see the screen? You are having basic. It means it will support to have 128 site to site, point to site tunnels, right? Throughput, it support only 100 Mbps only. You clear? Similarly, you are having gateway 1 supports 650 Mbps, gateway 2 supports 1 Gbps, gateway 3 supports 1.25 Gbps. AZ stands for availability zone support. Okay, why we need this sizes is vary. If you could keenly observe, your site to site tunnel numbers will get vary from 10 to 30. Your point to site connections of SSTP IKEv2 numbers will get changed here. We'll talk about what is mean by SSTP IKEv2 in this session only, nothing to worry. But these are the limitations you will get vary based on the size which you to select. For our training purpose, I will select gateway 1 where I will be getting 50 Mbps of a speed. Clear guys about queue sizes? Next thing is generations, generation 1 and 2. So I'm just going to latest generation. Virtual network, you are creating a gateway or a VPN solution and for which network that we need to select. No, I'm selecting VNet 01. If you see, it is automatically picked up the gateway subnet which we just created. Correct? Assume that some scenarios, if you are not created a gateway subnet, it will allow you to create in this screen also, not a problem. Okay, if you are not created some reasons in a gateway subnet already, if you forget also, it will allow you to create in this screen also. As it is point-to-site should communicate over the internet, requires a public IP. So AZT26 point-to-site and main is a PIP, public IP. Available zone. So available to zone, I don't need it with my training purpose. But it's a mandatory subject sector zone 1. Active in the sense in the backend, what will happen? They will maintain 2 sessions of your gateway so that at any point in time, you will be having highly available gateways as a service in the backend. BGP again, this will point-to-site, it doesn't make any sense. No need to touch of. Okay, and review. This creation, the gateway guys, it will take minimum. Official time is 40 minutes. Right? Your VPN gateway provisioning, it will not happen immediately. It will be this is the longest service which I have seen. Right? For a provisioning, it does take more than 25, minimum of 25 minutes. Okay. So meantime, what we will do, we'll make it ready all other setup which is required for this point-to-site configuration. Till now, any questions, guys? We just provision a VPN service, that is virtual network gateway service. Provisioning of this service will take minimum of 20 to 25 minutes. Meantime, we have some other dependency, with the type of services. If you see now, we just created till what step we came? We created a gateway subnet. We created a virtual network gateway. What we need to create again? We need to create root and client certificate. This is for authentication because you have Azure network. You are sitting at your home using your own internet. How it will trust that you are a valid connection, secure connection, it is coming from the internet, right? So in this example, we are using certificate based authentication. Okay. For that, we need to create one root certificate. These are self-signed certificates. We need to create one client certificate. Shall we go ahead and create now?
Okay.
As it will take more time. So here, if you just type Azure P2S certificate. First link, I will share these links for your reference as well. Right here, if you see, you can generate using a PowerShell. If you are Windows 10 and above, you could use the PowerShell directly to generate. If at all you don't have a Windows 10 and you want to generate self-signing certificate, you can make use of utility called makecert. It is a exe file which you need to place it to the Windows system32 folder, and it has its own syntax to run. it will generate the certificate. But I guess most of you guys have Windows 10 operating systems today. Just copy this command line to create a root certificate. I'm just copying this. Go to Notepad. Certificate generation command. Pretty much simple. The new self-signed certificate it is trying to create with the type, the signature as subject name and certificate name is point-to-site root certificate. I'm just naming AZT27 root. Rest everything, I'm not changing anything. I'm copying this. I'm just, where is my PowerShell?
How about certificate location?
Certificate location will go to the default location only. Your user profile certificate, it will go. We'll navigate now there. From there only, we'll export the certificate now. So I'm just pasted my PowerShell command to generate a certificate, self-signed certificate. Before that, as you've been rightly asked, let me go to the cert-mgr. Cert-mgr.msc is the direct command which will take you to the certificate manager. If you could see here, personal certificates 26 for the previous session, I created this, which I'm deleting. So as part of today's session, what we are creating with the certificate name is AZT27 root certificate, correct? So once after you create successfully, your certificate will list down in this screen. We'll come back to this screen. Shall I run this now, this command? This is the path we are mentioning for your person Chiranjeevi, current user, and my certificate. Okay, click on enter. It will immediately generate one certificate. It is done. I'm just going back here, refreshing the screen. Are you able to see one root certificate? Right click, go to all tasks, click on export. Click on next. We don't need a password for it because it will be there with the administrators. Click on next. This base 64 D or anything, any format is pretty much fine. Click on next. Where you want to save, just browse through the path. We are at which folder? 27. It is AZT27 root. Click on save. Import was successful. If I navigate Windows E 27, are you able to see the certificate which we just exported? Yeah. Next thing is we need to create one client certificate. So why we need a root and a client certificate? Root certificate will be there with the administrator. Client certificate will share with the end users. Okay, this is to generate a command for a client certificate. Just copy this command. This is a root certificate command. This is client certificate command. Here also, I'm just changing the name as AZT27 client. Here also AZT27 client. Just copy this and go to your command prompt and then run the command. Click on enter. So what it will do now? It will generate a client certificate from the above created root certificate. Okay, now I will navigate to the certificate manager. Are you able to see the client certificate now? No. If I just do the refresh, are you able to see the certificate? Client certificate?
Okay.
Right, we are able to see the client certificate. Now we need to export the client certificate. Click on all tasks, export. This time, this certificate is not being gonna be with the administrators. This client certificate means it's for end users mission to be installed. It means you need to share this certificate to the end users. To make it secure, I will export this certificate along with the password. It means if someone tries to install or make use of that client certificate without having a password, they cannot do anything else. It will be, they cannot make use of the certificate. Click on next, give a password to export your own password. Click on next. I'm just saving into the same folder here. AZT27 client. Import is successful. Are you able to see one client certificate, one root certificate?
Yes. In the real 69, this will be given by customers, right? Root and client certificate. We won't generate.
No. For a point to set, you will generate.
Root certificate also, right?
Yes, you need to.
Okay, it's not from the customer.
It's not from the customer. This for applications, yes. You need to get in touch with the respect to application owner, right? But other scenarios, you have to, in this particular scenario, I mean, we need to create our own certificate.
Okay.
Okay.
These are not specific to any application, right? These are the generic, certificates which we created, right? It's not specific to any VM or any service.
No, it is meant for your point to site. You will get understand actually. So we are completed till the configuration. We have done half of the setup only, correct? Why I created a root, why I created a client, you will understand before end of the session, because this root certificate, we will do it and we'll upload it in the VPN gateway. Client certificate, it will get installed in the end user machine. Whenever you try to connect a VPN, it will check the certificate. It's a valid. Whatever is there in the root, it is belongs to the same or not. If it is kind of a matching the certificate, which belongs to this root certificate, then only your connection will get established. Otherwise, it will get failed. Okay. So VPN in my system. So VPN settings. Let me see the old VPNs are there. VPN 02. I'm just removing it. So in this example, ours is VPN 01. Let me check. I'm just closing this. This one also, I don't need it. This one also, I don't need it. And I want to see the provisioning status. So when it is set around 9:28, it's hardly 11 minutes now. It is still happening. The provisioning is still going on. What is my resource name? It is AZT27 Point-to-Site. If I search this service, it will be available, but it is not in a fully provisioned service. If you could see, it is what is the status you are seeing here? It's an updating status.
Surendra, I mean, you didn't get my question. The reason why I asked you, right? Because you just copied that, certificate script from the norm, like, Azure documentation, right? I mean, Microsoft documentation. See, you set a password for the private certificate. The certificate code was common, right? Anybody can generate the client certificate. That's what my question is, like, it's a common certificate. Anybody can, export that to the server, right? How
No,
you are
if
like it private
huh,
to your environment
if, I,
domain?
if you run the certificate command, if I run the certificate command, the certificate content will not be the same.
Oh, is
It
it
is
okay?
all the time it will generate new certificates only. It is
Oh,
not like it will give only same certificate for every customer. That will
Okay.
not be
That's
the
not
case.
my
This,
question.
this
Okay.
is the PowerShell command which is default available. If we have any other methodology to generate, we can go to use that methodology and generate. No a kind of a restriction there. If you could see, we are
Mean like
using here
we can
Azure
use this
PowerShell
like
as one
footage.
method.
Okay.
You can use Linux
Footage and
also.
also, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Footage will not give you the certificate method. This is the procedure to create a certificate using Linux.
Oh, okay. Mhm.
If you are using make set utility, this is the procedure.
Okay.
Right? It just need a root and client so that they both can authenticate at the end of the day.
Okay.
Okay, so I was taken very easiest manner, which is available PowerShell commandlet. You just copy and run it, you will get a certificate. Simple as that. It is not like it will give the same certificate to everyone.
Okay, that's my question. Okay, got it.
Any other questions, guys? Harsha, Venkat, able to follow what we are trying to do?
Yes, Surendra.
Okay. Now, as I've been mentioned, the provisioning of this service, it will take minimum of 20 to 25 minutes. Now we are hardly covered in 10-12 minutes. We need to wait for 10 more minutes to this deployment to be completed. Meantime, this is where your overview of your gateway. Tomorrow, you are in a size of VPN gateway too, and I don't need this much amount of a size. For example, I will go back to my, like if I want to increase my size, gateway 2 to gateway 3, 4, and 5, you can select it. It's a bit costlier service. By unknowingly, I selected the AZ availability zone, where it's a costlier thing. In your real-time scenario, you should make sure which size you have been selecting. If you want to change something, you want to increase your bandwidth, you could change it in this window.
Is it online change or like it's offline?
It's online.
Because,
It's an online.
No, what I mean, like after changing, like no need to bounce or no need to like restart the VPN. Nothing, right? It will
Nothing,
be
but
automatically
the
refreshed.
saving will take some bit of a time. It will not save
Oh, that's it.
just like that.
It won't disconnect. It won't
It won't
disconnect the existing VPN connection. Okay.
No, it won't.
Okay.
For a site-to-site connections, will touch base this connection setting in tomorrow's session. In today's session, we are going to make use of the point-to-site VPN. Are you able to see here something called point-to-site VPN? By default, you could see empty screen here, correct? Are you able to see download VPN client option is disabled?
Yes.
Everything is disabled only. So to get it enable your VPN client software to be downloaded and installed, first before that you need to set up the point-to-site VPN. Okay. If you guys remember when you are connecting to your VPN, if you get notice from today by tomorrow, if you go to the IP config, right, you will be having IP address from your wireless LAN Wi-Fi. This is one IP address. You will be having before connecting only this one IP you will be seeing. After connecting the VPN, you will get one more IP address will get assigned from the VPN standpoint. Have you ever noticed that?
Yes.
Right?
I've seen.
Huh. So that IP address pool, you can decide here which IP address you want to assign. Let's say I want to assign an IP address of 172.29.0.0/24. So what will happen with this? If I connect to this VPN successfully, I am going to get one IP address from which IP series? 172.29, 0.1, 0.2, or 0.3, it will take till 254 IP addresses, 254 sessions it will support. Clear? Next one is tunnel types. So when I mean tunnel types, you have OpenVPN that will be used for your Android devices. Or Android devices, you can go with the OpenVPN. SSTP, Secure Socket Transfer Protocol, that will be used for your Windows machines. IKE v2 is used this VPN for your Mac and Linux based operating systems. In our scenario, our VPN setup is SSTP. Because my machine is Windows, I want to test using SSTP. I want to log into the VPN using Secure Socket Transfer Protocol. Why I selected SSTP, guys? Because my operating system is Windows. Assume that your end users are using Mac operating system, Mac OS, in such Linux machines as an Ubuntu desktops. You can select the IKE v2. That combination of both also you can select IKE v2 and SSTP. Next one is authentication. So when I say the authentication, what is the first authentication type you could see? Azure certificate. That is the reason only we generated certificates. Second one is Radius, that is one type of an authentication. Third one is Azure AD. So Azure Active Directory concept we had to be discussed. That's why we haven't touched base on this. Radius is one of the authentication mechanism which you need to configure and make use of it. Azure certificate is pretty much easy, which we have done as a straightforward methodology. You select the Azure certificate. Here, give the certificate name, that is AZT27 root. Certificate data, you just go back here, click on the AZT27 root certificate, right click, open with, not this one, I need to click open with a notepad. Are you able to see the content of the certificate? You need to copy this content, right click, copy, paste it here. Make sure there is no one single character is missing. Your VPN connection will get fail. Space, it will get fail. So I'm just going to the home tab, MII, it is correct. End tab, it is equal to, this is also correct. Right, am I copied the certificate content perfectly? You should not select the begin and end certificate data, only in between whatever you have, you just take a copy of it. Is it clear, guys, with the VPN configuration point to site? What are all things to be given?
Yeah.
Now you got fair bit of an understanding why we created root and client. At least root you get understand now why we created. Clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
Normally, if I click on save, it will get fail. Why it will get fail? My VPN is still in deployment. It's not yet done. We need to wait for this deployment to be completed. It is 20 minutes, maximum in another 5 minutes. This deployment will be completed, but official time to complete is 40 minutes. Do you have, guys, any questions to be discussed? Meantime, we have 5 more minutes. Okay, if not, we'll wait for this deployment to be completed. It is just completed. All my settings went away. My bad. Going to point-to-site VPN. Configure now once again. I want to give 172.29.0.0/24. Tunnel type is SSTP. Authentication type is root certificate. AZT27 root. Content data is this one. Just click on save now. Now it will save the configuration. As I mentioned, saving also, it will not happen immediately. It will take a minimum of 2 minutes or 2 to 3 minutes for saving it. Once after successful save this point-to-site VPN, your downloading of VPN client software, like whatever you are using, like Cisco, Pulse Secure, similarly, you will get one software to be downloaded here. Very small file. For that, these settings to be saved, then only your download option will be get enabled. Still, it has been saving. So for end users, what you need to do, typically, you need to give a VPN client software. You need to give a client certificate to be installed along with the password to be shared with them. Right? They need to install a software. They need to install a certificate in their machine. Then only they could be able to connect to this VPN successfully. Right? We'll see that as well. And at the end of the day, we'll see how we can connect to our virtual machine. It is saved. Now are you able to see that download VPN client button is enabled. You click on download. It will generate one zip file and then it will download automatically. So when it comes to interview, guys, you should be in a position to explain these steps without missing anything. That could give interviewer the confidence that you have been done this configurations. Click on open. So generic is a folder where it will give you whatever the root certificate you uploaded in the screen. It will give you one copy along with the settings what we have made in an XML format and root certificate for our reference. This is 64-bit, 32-bit, ours is 64-bit. You need to share this, copy this file and share it with your end user. Now what I will do, I will behave like an end user. Now I'm not an administrator and you are an admin and you given me this client certificate setup file. First step, I will install this setup. Extract all and run. It will extract. It is saying it's not run, more info. Click on run anyway. Or it will do, it will install the VPN client software. Are you able to see what it is saying now? Do you wish to install a VPN client for a VNet 01? It is recognizing the against which VNet in Azure we are creating this VPN solution. Clear, guys? Able to follow what I'm doing now? I'm installing a VPN software similar to your Cisco NA Connect, similar to your Pulse Secure. Clear? Guys, able to hear me? Able to follow?
Yes.
Yeah. You just click on S. It will install the VPN software for my, if you click on this network, if I go to my VPN, are you able to see that there is a VPN called VNet 01? I just install a software, but how my laptop is genuinely coming and hitting the VPN, how I will have a authentication type. For that, what you need to do, you need to share. In my slide, this is assume that you have shared the client certificate for me. I need to install this certificate. How you can install? Just double click on the certificate, click on next to install. It will ask for a password. Why it is asking for a password? Because while exporting a client certificate, I exported with the password only. So to the end users, you need to share VPN software, client certificate and client certificate password to whomsoever you want to allow them to access the Azure workload securely using VPN. Click on next, finish. That's it. Yes. I want to import was successful. Now I am a legitimate user. I installed VPN software. I have installed the client certificate. Now let's go ahead and connect to the VPN. This is my VPN. Click on connect. When I mean connect, it will open up the VPN setup. Click on connect. Are you able to see what it is asking? To connect to the begin connecting, click on connect here, Azure VPN. Click on, if you just notice in this area, it will validate your certificate. Are you able to see establishing secure connection to the Azure gateway, verifying the password for AZT13 client. And then are you able to see the status here? VNet 0 and what you could see now is a connected status, correct? I am using the public internet. I connect to the VPN now. If I go back to my IP config now, am I getting a VNet 011 IP address from which pool? 172.29.0.2. It means typically I have my VPN is successfully connected, and I could also see the IP address is successfully assigned. Here. Now, how we can test that whether we have successfully connected? By reaching out my virtual machine, which is there in VNet 01. So this is running. What is my IP? 10.200.0.4. Ping. Am I able to ping the IP, private IP from my local laptop? I'm saying not from Azure to Azure. This is peering. We have done the VPN setup. Shall we check whether I'm able to connect to the PuTTY session? Not using a public IP. This is a private. 10.200.0.4 is a private or public? So if I click on connect, am I able to connect or not? It is asking me to enter the credentials, means I'm having successful connectivity. Right? You could see now I am in app01 VM. In a real-time scenario also, do remember guys, you should not access your workloads using a public internet. You should always be used only private network only. Here, any questions? What we have done now is a point-to-site configuration end-to-end flow. Now you have a clarity, Chiranjeevi, that why we created certificates.
Yeah. But how you can get client certificate multiple a large pool of users?
No, I'm losing your voice, Chiranjeevi. Could you please repeat?
No. See, whatever the settings you did is for the certificate, right? For the client connect VPN connect.
Uh-huh.
So if you have a large pool of team, you need to follow the same process, sharing the client certificate to all of them,
You
and
can use
then
some tools also, no? So today in your laptop, are you installing all the softwares, whatever is there in your machine manually?
no push
No,
it. That's how it will be done here. Uh,
right? That's what I'm saying. It's only 5-10 people you share it manually. If the hundreds of people, you need to check with your local IT team what all the tools they have availability, and then you just give it to them, they will push it.
no. The push it. That's what I'm saying. The same certificate will be copied to the all the the end user desktops, right? That's what my question is.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Same software only. Let's say now you are saying Pulse Secure. Same Pulse Secure only is installed across everybody, right? In your company.
Okay.
Similar scenario here also.
Okay.
Ashra Venkat, able to follow? Any questions? Hello.
Yeah, no, Surendra. Fine.
Okay, this is all about VPN setup. Like this, normally you never do it, right? This is be doing by security team. When it comes to Azure, you are responsible to create a VPN solutions also. Okay, in tomorrow's session, this is as an internet. I'm sitting somewhere at my home and then connecting using a point-to-site. Tomorrow's session, how you are able to connect from your organization, sitting at your office in one of the floor and accessing your workloads using a private AP. That will cut a site-to-site VPN. We'll see that by tomorrow. So for tomorrow's session, can someone help me to create one more virtual network gateway at any other different region so that we'll use it for a site-to-site? Considering two different regions in Azure, instead of using a global peering will use Azure backbone network. We'll use our own site-to-site tunnel using internet between two Azure virtual networks to make you understand that is similar to site-to-site. Because to have an actual scenario for site-to-site, we should have an on-premises location, physical device of your firewall, correct? I will explain that theoretically. Practically, I will take one more Azure physical region and I will do the site-to-site tunnel. Okay. Yeah. That's it for today from my end. If there is no questions, we'll wind up the session for today and we'll connect back by tomorrow, same time. Yeah. Thank you guys.
Okay, thank
Thanks
you.
for joining. Have a good night.
Thank you. Bye.